So, like I said, I tried to do what my coaches told me, and for the most part, those tips didn't work for me. Not until I discovered, like I said, this whole Rudolf Steiner in combination with all these Tai Chi. I was doing so many different things back in the turn of the century, right between 99 and 2000. And I was like, light bulbs were going off. I'm like, oh my God, look at that. And I would watch not slow motion. I would watch frame by frame, and you'd see Agassi's hip leading the stroke, and you'd see the racket rising in a figure eight, and then the hips would lead on and then you'd see this perfect figure eight. And I'm like, son of a bitch, look at that guy. He's got it going on. That's just what I read about with this idea of continuous motion. Those things you see in the gym they're using now, those heavy ropes where they go like this.
Yeah.
Well, that's the exact formula of a natural athlete.
Yeah.
A small figure eight in the core creates a larger figure eight out here. And if you line it up with the 45-degree angle, which is perfect in nature, you're a wellness guy, right? The vertical, the horizontal. 45 is pretty archetypal, really, when you think about it. It's the basis of infinity. And I just started going, ding, ding, ding. What do I see here? And then I saw it on every Federer's serve and Roddick's. I mean, I'm like, it's everywhere.
The light bulb went off. Do you remember what year that was, Jack?
Yeah, right about 1999, 2000.
Right when he was beating Sampras.
That's right. That's right. And Sampras has the perfect figure eight serve. I mean, like I said, if you look through my eyes, you see the same three core fundamentals every time: 45, figure eight, and then the sine wave emerging off the small figure eight. And it makes the game so simple. And like I said, I could take the worst athlete in the world, someone who has no business playing sports, and make them look like they're a natural, that they've played since they were a little kid.
How about, if you don't mind taking a step over to Kyrgios and the up elbow and then that whack on the forehand? Tell me what you think about that, and is that going to damage any athlete over time, or is that a strong
No, I love Kyrgios.
position?
I love Kyrgios. I love his strokes. I don't even mind his attitude. It's kind of like mine, so I don't mind it at all. The guy walks around in a permanent coil. No one, of course, you'll never hear a commentator say that, because they're not looking for what I'm looking for. They're looking for fist pumps. They're looking for crap. Oh yeah, he's really got the crowd going. But if you watch him the way I watch him, he walks around like this. He walks around in a permanent coil. He's always coiled. And when he goes to serve, he's like this. And when he's returning, he's like this. He looks like he's 6'1", but if he stood up, he's 6'4". So he literally lives. He lives in a permanent coil.
Yeah.
So I appreciate him, but unfortunately, I don't think anyone else understands why he's got so much power. But he's got a tight coil, and his forehand's small because it's his body that does all the work, and he's got this tight coil from his hips to his hand, so he can hit a big shot with a very small stroke.
Yeah,
I love Kyrgios. Yep.
Yeah, I do too. I made a video out at the tennis center here about 2 weeks ago, and it was about Kyrgios and how people look at him. And I said, look, and there was pictures, these big wall pictures of Nadal, Serena, Michael Jordan, and one other athlete. And I said, okay, if you look at Michael Jordan and then you go to Kyrgios, you've got the same unbelievable athlete who are coordinated on the ground, in the air. They can jump out of this world. I said, but when you look at tennis, because of the way TV commercials work, and I think that's the reason we have these 5-set matches that could go 4 hours. I look in the back of McEnroe's book. Have you read McEnroe's book?
I don't know if I've read his.
You cannot be serious. There's this book, and
I think I did a long time
ago. At the end, he talks about the 10 things, I think it is, that he would change, and one of play let chords, no ad after a certain number of whatever, and then eliminate these 5-set matches, maybe unless it's in the finals or something like that, because the women aren't doing it, and the TV people are still making money apparently on the women. So why would you force men that are brutalizing each other to go 5 hours? It doesn't make any sense. So Michael Jordan, I said, my calculations are that he's never played in an all-out death match unless he was a kid on the pickup courts as an adult or a high school player or college player, he never played 4 and 5 hours of all-out death matches. And look at the bounty and the long career that he had. I said, that's what you should do to the game of tennis, or at least have half the tournaments set up like that. Then you'd have Kyrgios doing these 2 hour matches where you'll be able to see the wizardry of a pure athlete who can focus for 2 hours. But why do we give points to people who can focus for 5 hours at high intensity? It doesn't make any sense. Battles are typically not 5 hours of focus in a war or in a martial arts. You're done within a few minutes if you're a martial artist. So unless you're in this point system, but if it's a match to the with a knockout or the death, it's typically over in a short period of time. So tell me what your thoughts are about some of these
Well,
shortening things.
I'd give Mac, like I said, I'm pretty rough on these commentators when it comes to technicalities. I think they stink. And because I don't think and not because they don't want to tell you, I don't think they know. I don't think they actually know. But when it comes to opinions, I'd have to take Mac's opinion over my own. I mean, he's been to the show. I played his doubles partner in the first tournament of my life, boys 12 and unders. Got my ass whooped. 0-1.
Fleming?
No, his name was Gary Reiner. Nice guy, really nice guy. In fact, he said to me after the match, and for a 12 and under, it was incredible. He was a tall kid, and Mac's doubles partner. He says, "Is this your first tournament?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You're gonna be a good player. Don't worry about it." And it was, I mean, for a 12-year-old, that was pretty
Nice.
savvy. I'll
Nice
never
advice.
forget that kid. I've forgotten all my other matches practically, but my very first match against Gary Reiner, I won't forget. And but yeah, I mean, Mac's opinion is probably pretty good. I don't know. Tennis is traditional. You know what I mean? It's conservative, traditional sport. It's always been 5 sets. The tiebreaker, that took the world by storm, the 9-point and then the 7-point tiebreaker after that. Now the super breaker in the last set. I guess for me, it would probably be, if I could change anything, it might be one serve.